Sideline of ball. Late Widow's doing it. They're gonna take. He's gonna bring down Birdie. Alone with a double kill. Dropping fast. Final points there. He's still alive. Wait for a second slide. He's got one side. He's got a second. He's taking it. They're overtime on three. They're all dead.
Welcome back, folks. We've got another best of 3 coming your way for the opening semifinals. Pew, 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 pew of the Summit 2 by G2A.com America playoffs. I'm Zayori, that's Coddle Guy. Navi US versus Not Today, Coddle Guy. What's the skinny?
The skinny is that Navi US are the favorites in this one just by a little bit. I want to say, according to Dota Lounge, about 60-40%-ish advantage for Navi US. They are the team that were one of the favorites to take the whole thing. They just barely etched their way into the playoffs. Mind you, they came off a couple of wins that kind of secured their spot, so we didn't have any tiebreakers. So Navi US looked pretty good at the back end of it. They have a few roster changes they did go through.
Yes.
Ush has been acquired from Sneaky Nick's Assassins, and also we will not be seeing Snaking today. We have Arise, one of the other big prominent stand-in mercenary kind of players who's been anywhere from MYM to Fnatic to...
He's been all over the place.
All over the place.
He's your Value Town stand-in, so...
But on the other side, you have Not Today. Not Today were at the top of the boards for a long time. They look damn good. They've always looked really good. Smash Dota, baby. We'll see if Not Today can be the ones to beat out Navi US.
And Not was second in the group stage, second to Complexity, so they put up some good games. Smash
remaining.
Dota, as we've seen, so this will be very interesting. The actual roster for Navi is as follows.
remaining.
Ush is the drafter, so we got the new guy on the block. We love him, we know him, Chris Usher.
Yeah, he let me know
He's the
yesterday.
drafter.
He's like, I want to give you a bit of information, man. I'm going to be drafting tomorrow, which blew me away because, well, one, he's their most recent acquire.
Yeah.
So you're taking a new guy on the team, which I'm sure a lot of them know and have played with many a times.
Yeah,
but
they've
they're
played
like,
against him a
but
lot.
they're
they
putting
know.
their tournament
Navi
future
US's
onto the back
time
of
to
their
bat.
newest addition, and he's also got Arise now and not the typical Snaking. And
Radiant
I just hope he
team
did his
ban.
study work, what Not Today, but, you know, he apparently did. They immediately ban out the Ember Spirit, which is one of Smash's go-to heroes in this patch. So there has been the research done. We'll just have to see if he can pull it together. They start off very standard from both teams. You got Navi US
10
opening up. They get the
seconds
Tide
remaining.
Hunter and Ogre. And on the side of Not Today, there's Ancient Apparition again and Mirana. So getting AA this early,
Radiant
he's not
team
really
pick.
contesting anything on Navi US. They have synergy in mind. We could be seeing it here. Faceless Void is still in the pool.
Yeah, certainly. Here's Razor sticking with
Look at
that
the blue.
The blue hue, very
Navi
pretty. Not
US's
today. They did
time
win the
to
toss, and they chose Radiant. One of few teams that chooses side over pick. Most teams that win the toss will go for first pick, almost always on this patch. First pick does have a statistical advantage numbers-wise, regardless of which side of the map you're on. But not today, man. They've got something in store for this Radiant side, and that makes me wonder what it is about Radiant that they really prefer. Is it the off lane? Is it the jungle? Is it access to the new Roche pit?
I've been
10
hearing lately
seconds
that
Mid
the
lane.
Radiant offlane is harder than the
Yeah,
Dire
that's why I
offlane.
mean. I don't know. I don't know what their
5
preference is. I
seconds
mean,
remaining.
Just love that side. I mean, thinking back, I just whenever I think back to a Not Today game, I picture
Reserve
more
time.
them being on the Radiant side altogether. Smash maybe just enjoys being on mid Radiant side. I mean, who
well,
really
Radiant
knows what
mid
their
has that
motives
little
are.
that medium camp there that you can farm.
Yeah, it could
And for
be
some
that.
heroes, that's really important. Your Shadow
Yeah.
Fiends, your Nagas,
They
maybe
like that
something we'll
stuff.
see them pull out.
But regardless, that next game, that means that they will have the first pick as we do a complete swap for game number 2. If we do have a game number 3, we go back to our coin flip.
Reflipper.
Radiant team
All right, so
pick.
Navi, after seeing the Razor being grabbed on Not Today, they look to strike immediately back. They get kind of the classic counter there. They get Viper. So this could be our atypical mid lane matchup, or Not Today could shift things around, roll Razor into a safe lane farming position and have Smash pick up someone else. But just interesting, Navi US banned out Elder Titan. You know, Not Today still have the Morphling out there at the ready if
10
they want to get the
seconds
Ewo
remaining.
Morphling. I think that's one of his best heroes, and now they don't have to worry about an Elder Titan.
5 seconds
We'll have to see if
remaining.
that's something they reach for.
I'm thinking a Centaur pick is coming out here for Not Today.
Reserve
Mihawk,
time.
Yeah.
who has changed his name now to Neehawk. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but he is now the Neehawk.
Navi
Naga
US's
Siren. Okay,
time
that's
to
their
pick.
4th pick here. So that's probably your Smash hero. Headed to the mid lane, and
Okay.
maybe now the Radiant makes a little more sense. As I mentioned, that little camp there, a little bit easier for her to get to, send some illusions in. So If you lose lane control, get a regen, something like that, you can find a little bit of extra.
Now, of all the people on Navi US, Ush is the typical Naga player. He knows what to expect from a Naga. He knows what a Naga does not like. We'll see. With seeing that now, I wonder how he might decide to change things.
I think that means
remaining.
aggression, pushing, knocking down towers, limiting the map control that
Maybe
Naga has.
5 seconds
well, I was going
remaining.
to say possible aggro try, but if we're thinking it could be smash mid lane Naga, that
Reserve
we
time.
don't know if that's going to be the case or
Yeah,
not.
I
Evo
mean,
could just grab that Razor and take
They're
that
off to a
the
good
safe
start.
lane.
I mean, Navi US have a lot of lane dominators here. Tide, Viper, great laners, Ogre.
Maybe like a secondary support who can roam early and get a part of some early
Skyrath
ganks.
is in the pool here. Just take the Skyrath.
Yeah, Skyrath.
Take it while you can.
Still in
Treat
there.
yourself.
Ancient Seal Silence can certainly help if you try to gank a Naga while she still has the song at the ready.
Yeah, great pool.
And there's great burst potential there. They're very meaty. I mean, Navi US have a team that's really hard to take down. Really hard to take down. And I would normally say, like, oh, you should consider something like a Necro, but not today. They don't go down that road. They actually ban out the Necro themselves. So we'll see here. Sitting on the clock here, Ush has now begun to dimp into the reserve time. And they want to take a strong stand here in game number 1.
Yeah, I really think the Skyrath is the obvious choice. We'll definitely get banned out
If you don't
they
go with
take the other
Skyrath,
core.
the other potential roaming early, maybe range stun abilities, you got Vengeful Spirit that's still
Yeah.
potentially in there.
Venge is all right here. Not an obvious.
You know what I
Venge
saw
game, though.
once that was awesome against the Naga, and
Whoa!
it's going to be a Leshrek grab. Now this
Bone and
doesn't
bars.
say, but this could be a core Leshrek. This could still be an Ush core Leshrek.
You
if
think so?
possible. Yeah, I've seen him play. I've seen him carry me a game with Leshrek.
What are the
Goat
chances
Man.
here, Cotton?
No.
I don't know. I
Navi
mean, we'll have to
US's
see that if
turn
they'd
to
like
ban.
to go a bit unorthodox here. Maybe they don't expect it, and your Naga's going to get very pressured early. I was going to say Warlock was a good support grab. I've seen him run by MVP
Warlock.
Phoenix. They ran it in the mid dual lane, and anytime
Okay.
Naga put out the song to get away,
Radiant
it wasn't
team
enough
pick.
range. He just dropped the rock from outside the song range. And even through
Navi
BKB,
US's
anything,
turn to
they
pick.
always stopped Naga from getting away and got a hold of her. It was just such a
Okay.
fun little support grab.
That's
And,
pretty cool.
you
That's
know,
cheeky.
You know, I've seen it was a dual lane Warlock, and it worked for. All he did was get the slow and the not fatal bonds, the heal, and he was just a nuisance. But we're not going to see that. We get Goatman Leshrek. We don't know yet for sure if this is just going to be your simplistic support kind of Leshrek who we used to see back in the day, putting him side by side with Shadow
10
Demon,
seconds
or
remaining.
if this is indeed going to be a core role, and Navi US are going to look to go real hard,
5
real early.
seconds
Yeah, it's
remaining.
very hard to say. I mean, Lesh and Ogre can work pretty well together as your support duo. You've got your Fire Blast and a Split
Reserve
Earth.
time.
So all that jazz looking pretty solid.
Not today, though. Who's the offlaner? Are we seeing an aggro try? Are they rolling with duels, or are they going to go with the Mirana in the offlane?
This is an
interesting.
odd draft that they have here, and a lot of flexibility with who the cores are. Mirana or Wraith King, they're kind of those two flexies.
10 seconds
That could be
remaining.
cores, could be supports, and okay.
Oh.
It's an Ush anti-mage.
So that's a support the Shrek.
Yep, and that'll be your way to hero. He's tagged up as Leader of Tears.
Yeah,
but
he's
that
been
is-
tagged as that for a
way
while.
too
It
sexy.
sounds a pretty emo, but you know, it's way
a
too sexy.
Leader of Tears. That's
It
a lot,
sounds like the
dude.
complete opposite of way too sexy. It's
Yeah.
like emo and sexy. You know?
Hey, look, I've got a team fight recap already.
Wow,
Look at all those buybacks.
Was that the end of last?
That was the
game?
end of the last game. That's
All right,
so
in
fun.
case you weren't around for the
Prepare
Yeah.
back end
for
of the
battle.
last series. There it is
Spoilers.
for you. But here we go, man. We made it. This is the start of game number 1, the second best of 3 series. We're going to find out which team is going to get knocked down and potentially have to face Leviathan, and which team's going to move on to face Complexity.
Yep, so the winner will be facing against Complexity in the winner bracket finals, and the loser will be facing off against Leviathan tomorrow for elimination as our second best of 3. So it's just a quick little 3-day double elim, 6 series, and only one team that can make it to the Summit 2. Let's
I'm
take a look at
excited.
some lanes, though. How's this going? It looks like an aggro try from Navi US. Ush, he's here on the anti-mage, the Leader of Tears, Mr. Way Too Sexy on the Leshrek. Maybe it'll be a 2-on-2, a Rise on the Viper mid. Up top, that'll be Korok on the Tidehunter, and right now he's joined by Fog, who is on the Ogre Magi. Now we'll see where Fog ends
30
up, as it looks
seconds
like
to
not
battle.
today. Also doing a tri-lane of their own in the aggressive lane.
I was so curious to see how Navi West are going to put their new role assignments. With another roster change, creates more question as far as who's playing what. I've seen almost all of these players play a core role, so it really can go anywhere, and that's what people think that is like Team Tinker's undoing, is that they have a lot of core kind of players and no one who really plays a strong support kind of role. Maybe Navi West, it could
The
be the same
battle
thing. Now
begins.
Korok's in the offlane kind of position. Fog's still sticking to his support roots, but their newest acquire, Arise, is playing their mid lane position. So we'll have to see how it goes. before even getting the introductions. Korok gets caught out with an arrow here. This could be a quick first blood from Not Today if they want it, and it is going to be. It picked up from Mihawk there on your bottom. That's immediate takedown, and your Korok offlane Tidehunter now has to take the long walk of shame to his position.
Look at that fun little play. Mystico puts down his Smoke of Deceit so that it doesn't get scouted in the inventory. Picks it back up after they get the kill on the high ground, and now they smoke. So Navi US, they have no idea this is coming. That was completely done off the radar. And what a cute play. I really like it. We'll see if this gank will be successful. They won't have Chilling Touch for it. Another 12 seconds so that baby's cooled down.
They could wait for it, though. They have plenty of smoke time to make it work. And if Viper pushes forward here, this could be an immediate double takedown and a fantastic strong start for Not Today. We saw in the last series how good a strong start could be. And he's got good positioning, though. He's running all the way down, but they have to commit far for this one. It's just too far. They can't go over-diving this. Already Miskow is eating a lot of damage from the tower. Smart call to pull back, but man, it is still Not Today that throw the punches first, and they strike, getting a hold of Korok. For Not Today's roster, however, we got Masoku playing your support Ancient Apparition. He's side-by-side with Miskow, who's playing the support Wraith King. A lot of movement coming in early. Your Mihawk offlane Mirana here is the one who strikes first blood and will be going toe-to-toe with the Korok Fogged lane. And finally, that leaves bottom. Ewo, their core farmer, he's going to be playing Razor. And sorry, I can't forget one of the most biggest names in the team, the face of Not Today, Smash Dota. He's going to be playing your mid lane Naga.
Yep, absolutely. So Naga with a pretty standard opener here. Goes for a couple of GG branches and some tankos, rushes the bottle, and this time no couriers get sniped with bottles. That proved to be quite the difficulty in the last game of the first series today. But Not Today, happy with their first blood that they got kind of on a whim, but Navi US getting slightly more farm out of these lanes. Anti-Mage will always in the kind of off-lane role here in the aggro position. Ush racking up the last hits, tied with the Viper for #1 on CS, and all things considered having a pretty good time against Ewo, though. His supports have left him. Lesh is roaming around, found some boots, and we'll see where Ponyboy heads to.
I'm so curious for Ush being the drafter. He said he had done it a couple of times before. Him being the core player, like, how do you draft around that? Do you just kind of build up your game plan, you know well ahead of time what you're going to be playing, and you just kind of build a team that surrounds that late gamer best, like this game in AM? Or are you just kind of going with the flow, building as you see the drafts come your way, and then in the last spot you kind of finally decide what it is you want to go for? Bottom lane, they do a bit of harassment here on Evo, bullying him all the way back. But one of the pickups that got me most peculiar was this Leshrek support, and he doesn't really have a lot to work with as far as being able to chain stun into a splitter, which is hard to land. Top lane as well, though. They're making it go on Korok. He's going to get Brock down potentially. He will be. This is back-to-back takedowns on Korok in your offlane Tidehunter, and it looks like he's not too happy about this aggro try he's potentially been put up against. Yeah. And it's another grab for Mihawk, mind you, on Mirana. But as I shift things over here, sorry, we actually will be briefly stepping out, so apologies on the bit of a slight adjustment to camera. But here we go, 2-0. It's Not Today coming out real big with this one as they get a couple of sweet grabs. Way2 still guarding Ush in the bottom lane, trying to at least sacrifice what looks like only one of the lanes that's going in the favor of Navi US. So Korok back in his top lane. He's struggling quite a bit, and we saw it with Leviathan when your Tidehunter can't really meet a good quota as far as blink and farm. It could be very, very troublesome in the mid game here, which Not Today are happy to make work what they can. Here we go, though. They're jumping on bottom. Ewo in big trouble here. Navi US, are they able to get themselves on the board? They do, and it's Ush, of all people, who is able to grab and secure that kill. Your anti-mage now up to about 1,400 gold. We'll see if he wants to kind of immediately farm up and get towards that battlefield to accelerate the farm, or he could consider... I don't know how greedy he's feeling. Maybe itchy for a Midas, or we'll have to see how it goes. It's been quite a while since I've seen him play an anti-mage. But here we go, Way2 on your Leshrek, looking to roam about. I question his reliability on being able to hit maybe some of these split earths, but maybe he'll prove me wrong. Fogged has now made his appearance here in the bottom lane on your Ogre. Just level 2, though. As they're trying to zone back, they have eyes on this Wraith King. They press forward, and, well, there's your split earth. Not going to be catching on anything there, and they'll have to pull back as they can't quite commit too much. It's going to be hard. I mean, you need a fair amount of lockdown to be able to just make the best out of that. And Korok here still feeling very confident in this lane. He's getting right-click down pretty heavily. It's this Ancient Apparition. And with that Chilling Touch, can always do big, big damage. But nope, there you go. It's going to be Razor who gets the kill there on Leshrek. Way2 goes down. And Not Today find their own kill in this bottom lane, pushing ahead now 3-1. And back on top, Korok now getting a lot of right clicks here. We still have an arrow, leap forward arrow, close range. Nice sidestep though from Korok. He's able to step away, but no! Gets taken down again. Another kill. The third one for Mihawks. Mirana onto Korok's, tied in this top lane. Oh man, the off lane for Na'Vi. Not going that well whatsoever. Strug City indeed. But let's see if they're able to pull on back. Speaking of pulling on back, Zyro's going to get back into the mix and being able to join us here, but it's still a lot of momentum going the way of Not Today. Smash now steps away from the mid lane. We'll find a little bit of that side farm we were talking about with the advantage of having your Radiance side, which, well, clearly Not Today like to have above even first pick.
Yeah.
And now he'll step away. We'll see how long he wants to wait before going right for that relic, but it's rune time.
And Mr. Cow, he'll be okay. Fog thinking about throwing some fire, but not going to be able to connect. And now the rotation towards the mid begins. The Ogre and the Pony. Lesh finds level 3, second point in Split Earth. Yeah, Smash having a decent time here in the mid. 26 CS, not bad. Quelling Blade, probably looking for the Aquila. Doing all right.
I just can't help but feel like, and I was saying this while you were stepped out, is, you know, Leshrek was such an interesting grab. I'm really curious to see what he's going to offer. Of course, he always offers the great push when he levels up that Edict, but as far as landing the stun and making sure he can really get a lot done in some of these early engagements, it's a bit questioning to me. So they're going to prioritize a bit of XP on him. They have him up here in the top lane. Fog's always nearby, but it's going to be hard to get a hold of Mihawk's Mirana here. She's already got so much farm. Level 7, just easily leaps to the low ground and gets away.
Yeah, already has power treads up. Aquila 1, not an easy target to bring down. A little beefy and has a couple of escape plans. Moonlight Shadow.
They see it. Ush was the bottom, had visibility on Not Today, so they immediately ping it out. Everyone's going to be on high alert seeing that be called out.
Yep, Arise in the mid on the Viper. Looks like he will go for a mech first item. Has himself the Buckler completed already, so he's off to the races in terms of mech timings. But mid lane, we'll see a rotation. Masoku a little low on hit points, but they'll go right in. Are they actually going to go for it? No. Good positioning here from Arise, and he'll be able just to walk back to safety.
Maybe if Smash had like a value point into Snare, it would have been a little easier to grab him. But they were already on high alert. They saw the Moonlight Shadow called out, and they were curious to see where everyone from Not Today went, and they weren't going to get too aggressive in their lanes until they saw where they were. Arise was in a good position. He's going for mech. It's a bit interesting to see him go for mech, considering they are going against an Ancient Apparition. The Ice Blast is going to prove to be a bit troublesome for him if he is caught out in it. If he's not, the mech can just add a little bit extra sustain to everyone, of course.
Yeah, I think the mech is okay against AA. As always, you have to be careful about how you use it, but there's always that window where it doesn't have 100% uptime, especially before Ags. There's a pretty long duration where you can still pop the mech.
And it costs a lot of mana now. And your Viper has an okay mana pool, but about half his mana is going to be invested in just using the mech alone.
That's true, yeah. At least he has the power treads to swap and get a little extra mana, but a fair point for sure. Korok finds his level 6 on the safe lane Tidehunter, so good news there. At least Na'Vi US now have a Ravage that they can fight around, but this off-lane anti-mage, man, Ush racking up the net worth. Number 1, 1-0-0, nearly 60 last hits, and seems like he'll be well on his way to a decently timed Battle Fury. Went for power treads first so that he can kind of skirmish with this Razor, but Ush is really having a good time.
And he knew that he was going to be going against a Naga in the draft here, so I wonder if there's like a window of opportunity for an anti-mage, the best Naga in the late game. Top lane, they're making it go on Korok. They landed a very nice arrow. He's very low. Oh, about 2 more right clicks. They could take him down. 1 more would have been there. Korok will not fall this time. That could have been a devastating 4th takedown of Tidehunter, but this one time, he'll be able to move on and away and back to base to heal on up, but it's still lots of time from him away. He actually got a hold of an urn, and he's looking for power treads. This is a long road towards a Blink Dagger, though, on your Tidehunter.
Yeah, definitely so. So much that he gets an urn. I mean, it's very rare you see that on a Tidehunter. Up top, it looks like the leader of Tears will live up to his name. Long-range arrow. There's your Wraithfire Blast, and good old Mihawk secures the kill there. Mid lane, Masoku, he's invisible on Frosty, thinking about making something happen, but down bottom, Ewo getting clicked hard by Ush. Ush does have an ultimate, but doing some math on that mana pool of Razor and realizes, I can't really commit for that kill and make it happen.
I mean, the one thing that Na'Vi US do have going for him pretty strongly is Ush is finding a lot of good farm. He hasn't been caught out. He even got an early kill, so his anti-mage is getting a lot out of this game, but I can't help but feel like for right now, Not Today are getting a lot more. Finding a fair amount of kills across the map. And Mirana's got great farm as the offlaner, much more than anything that Navi US's offlaner does is on Korok's Tide, but we'll have to see. Smash continues to build up the farm on his Lady Naga, about 1,700 gold. This is the point when she wants to save and rush right for that Sacred Relic to get the Radiance bottom lane. Jump in, your first Ravage coming out. Evo in big trouble. Moonlight Shadow's there, but they do have enough lockdown.
Even Mana Void for that. Wow.
Mana Void, last hit, Anchor Smash is there. It's Leshrac who picks up the kill. And Ush starts going to work on this Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane.
And meanwhile, up top, Mirana pressuring this tower very hard. Gets it down to about 32 hit points. Viper looking for the deny. Mihawk goes in, and he gets the last hit. Arise Viper strikes him, but doesn't matter. Mirana will just TP out, and well played there. Now in the bottom lane, maybe Mystical will be in some trouble. Tower goes down. He's only level 5. Looks to TP home. Fog doesn't have a stun, but they've got the damage. Fog will get the kill. And Navi US coming out ahead off that one.
Mystical got a little greedy. The Ice Blast did connect on way 2's Leshrac there, and he knew that if he just got that one stun off, it would have been an easy secured kill on Leshrac, but unfortunately got a little too bloodthirsty, and he ended up handing over his own life before he was level 6. Now level 5, he's back from the dead, and will look to bounce back as His Majesty.
Yeah, even though Navi US are holding on to a decent little gold lead here, they got a couple towers, they're still giving a lot of space to Smash. And here, 11.5 minutes in, 2,300 gold towards the Relic. That's not so bad. I think Smash is feeling pretty good against his farm. About his farm, rather. Anti-Mage will have his Battle Fury relatively soon, about 500 gold off, so again, a great timing for Ush. And it's not even a naked Battle Fury either. He's gone for the full tread, so could have had it completed even a few minutes on top of this. AM will still peak a good bit before that Naga gets really scary, and that's where Navi US will have this window where AM will still be kind of in farming mode, but they're going to have to fight around this Ravage and make sure that Naga doesn't get free run of the map, because once she gets that Radiance left unchecked, I think she can still outfarm an Anti-Mage.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good synergy there for Not Today that works to their benefit on trying to get a hold of even a late-game Anti-Mage. You got Sleep to lead things off. Gibby doesn't have the BKB, you don't have the ready, and you can follow up with a pretty nice arrow, and hopefully that's a fair amount of lockdown with a Rayfire Blast as a cherry on top to be able to, you know, push down your Anti-Mage and prevent him from being so mobile. Which right now he's about one component away, one neutral camp. He'll get that Battle Fury, and then the farm's really going to come in a lot quicker for Ush.
Yes, sir. Top lane here. What's going on with this trio of heroes? Mirana. Wow, does she have a lot of farm? That's a Maelstrom up, almost tied with the Anti-Mage in terms of farm. So that's definitely good news for Not Today. Mirana, one of those heroes that can play more of a hard carry role if farm allows. And 12-minute Maelstrom, I think, fits the bill. They're going to come in on Ush, though. Maybe they can chuck an arrow from downtown. It is nighttime.
He better have quick reactions. He typically does, so if he sees an arrow come his way, you know, he still can quickly react with the blink, but if he gets caught, it's pretty much a secure death.
And there's your Battle Fury. Picks it up now, so even if they gank him, damage has already been done. He's already spent all that unreliable gold, and they'll actually just pull the plug. They'll give up.
They might go for mid instead. Arise is still here.
They'll hold the high ground. They see Ush. Can they stun him, though? Nope. The fast fingers. What is this Anti-Mage hairdo? What is this? Gift of the Awakened? Should read Gift of the Awkward.
It looks like he looks like an airbender or something like that.
Yeah, dude, he's got like a baby mohawk on the back of his head. I don't know what's going on with that.
I like the Moon Meander's double wrapped face, where you couldn't see it at all.
Yeah, I like the
Ush is like the opposite. He's like, I want my face out there. Get some sun on it.
Ooh, Korok, you might bump into Mystical. Mid lane, Naga gets the last hit on the tower. Wow, with all these dire heroes nearby, can't even find the deny.
Fog almost got him with a Fire Blast there, but just that quick leap, Mihawk was able to step on out.
700 gold, Dakota. Gonna be a good Relic timing.
And they can't get a hold of him. It's too hard now that he has Song. Not really a whole lot you can do, and Magic Smash is always going to reserve that bit of mana just to be safe. As maybe a lead-in jumping Ravage would be enough to be able to take her out before that Song got off. But here we go. They're moving as a unit here, all smoked up at the ready. The Ravage, good to go here. Masoka's farming, though. So's Mihawk. They don't have any sort of way to really close the gap here, so Moonlight Shadow's going to pop out. Do they have detection, however? Uh-oh, Navi, where's our detection? No detection on hand. Mihawk is going to just stride away from this, and that gank is not going to be going anywhere. They don't use the Ravage, which is nice, but
where's the detection, bros?
This is the essentials. This is stuff I'm supposed to forget in my pubs.
Yeah, that was a series of free kills. Masoku is not getting out of that one easily. Got hit by a Viper Strike, so he was slowed up, and Well, they get out of jail free. Mystico gets a lot of space up top. Now level 6 on the Wraith King, so supporting, but still feeling good. Smash. Oh, kisses Ush here. Loses a lot of his mana. Ush realizes it's the real Naga and wants to go for it.
No song now. No song at all. Just took it away, but he might be baited into a trap. He will be. Wow, beautifully laid up there. Smash just kind of pulls him right towards Mihawk's arrow and that fine-tooth comb of a path, and just an easy grab for him. Ush goes down.
Ended up being an easy pick-off, so Ush getting a little too excited. I mean, with the Battle Fury, he does do a decent chunk of damage right now, but it's just no survivability. If he gets hit by an arrow, that's pretty much GG town, so... Naga now going to take over #1 on net worth. And wow, Viper goes hand to Midas. They're looking at this saying, all right, we're forced to go late game. There's no way we're ending this before this Naga gets scary. So, hell, boys, let's go all in towards the late game here.
We might even see Wraith King pull out of Midas, too, on Not Today's side.
I think so. I think it's warranted also.
Yeah, this could be a girthy game. We could look for a long one here, as I know Smash is happy with that. Wants to go as far as possible. Same with your Anti-Mage. We're going to just eventually have to see a clash of the Titans here, and it's going to be what team has the better backup and the better execution. Yeah, we'll have to see. I think Not Today have a strong start at this one. It's 6-3 as far as kills, only a slight net worth towards their advantage, but I think they've been coming out on top with some of the pickoffs they go for, and catching out Ush there on the back end certainly helps them.
Well, Mech is up on the Razor. We'll need to use the Courier, but has bought all the pieces. Arrow and Ice Blast will be off the mark as they're trying to fish for the Viper. They won't find him there, and he'll fly his way to safety. Mystico in the top lane, looking like he'll be the defender of this oncoming push. Lesh with 3 points in the Edict. He's hungry.
Radiance top tower is under attack.
I want to wait to be able to at least try to get some objective gaming here with his team. Really trying to make the best of what Refresh can really offer, because right now it's not offering a whole lot. It's not that atypical combo where you have the easy setup from your Shadow Demon. It looks like Smash just made a narrow escape to kind of get away from early pressure in the mid lane. Korok's still trying to get a hold of that Blink Dagger, but there's your Radiance. 17-minute Radiance.
A little slower than what I had thought, actually. It seemed like his form was a little better than that, then slowed down towards the end, but 17 minutes for the completed Radiance still will give him plenty of time to farm and stay online, get scary. AM, 1,300 gold, hasn't bought anything since he picked up his big farming tool, but now Tidehunter about 100 gold away from his Blink. So Korok really off to a rough start, has recovered now, and we'll at least be able to find some Blink Ravages.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Come on, hit him.
Just barely misses. I don't think it would have been enough for a Shatter.
I know, but that would have forced him at least back into the base, and if they wanted to engage mid lane, they wouldn't have to worry about a Ravage, but he lives, so he could just kind of work to the jungle, build up the rest of the farm there. He'll get his Blink Dagger, and this is going to be a one mobile watermelon. And Navi US, I'd imagine, want to put it right to use and be able to get a takedown, preferably on this Naga. If they lead in with a nice blinking Ravage, they follow it up with the stun from your Leshrac, I think they have a fair amount of damage to be able to quickly take down Smash before they get a song off. For Not Today, as long as they have their wits about them, they find a lot of farm across the whole map. They have people working from top to bottom here. You got Ewo farming up the top lane, just getting his mechanism at the top, all the way at the bottom. Mihawk, who's had a fantastic game early on, getting a quick three kills, taking down Korok, has a very quick Maelstrom and about 1,500 gold. Just going to leave TP. No blind Ravage, nothing to stop. So
I feel like Korok's just getting thwarted at every turn. Every smoke he's done so far, he's desperately trying to fight with this Ravage, but they're just dodging him like crazy. They see the tide and say, hey, we don't want any of that, Watermelon Man. We don't want what you've got to sell. Keep your tentacles to yourself, you stupid sea creature. And they're doing it. His tentacles they're kept in the bag.
For Navi, it looks like for now they'll just, in due time, just find their own bit of farm. Looks like Ush just making an investment. Imagine a Yasha. Yeah, it's a Yasha. So they're a lot. Good old reliable Yasha on the way toward your anti-mage. The old standard. And now Smash picks up that DD rune, finds his farm bottom. This is going to be a quiet, calm before the storm, I'd imagine. That storm could come at the early Roche contention. It could just come at the waking moment that when Navi US realized we got a blinking Tidehunter Ravage, we need to put it to use.
Yep. Oh, Ush, speaking of blinking, right into the opposition, stunned, arrowed, and slapped down by the Lightning Man. That'll be a dead Ush. And again, Not Today. Get a little pick-me-up there. Nice 800 net worth bounty going in their favor. And oh, Korok down bottom. Better watch yourself, Watermelon. Smash is coming in. He's going to chew you up, spit out your seeds.
He can't blink anywhere. Oh, Ice Path. Or Ice Blast. That's it. Korok's done.
Easy.
With the fishes.
Easy.
Oh,
He
boy.
swims with the fishes.
I guess he thought that maybe he can man up on her, eventually be able to pull out the Ravage and take it home with like a big anchor smash.
Radiant's middle tower
But that
is
Ice
under
Blast
attack.
right there, and it's not going to be so easy. They find kills on top and
Dire's
bottom while they
top
spread the
tower is
farm.
under
Everything is
attack.
going very, very nice for Not Today.
Shadow.
It's Navi West who are struggling in this mid-game period. Oh, they're going to cross paths, but he
Moonlight
was
Shadow.
already in
Dire's
Viz. Moonlight
bottom
Shadow.
tower is under
Here's the
attack.
arrow. Oh, it's not going to. Oh, it is going to catch there on Way 2. Is Way 2 going to be in trouble here? They do take down Wraith King, but he's got Reincarnate. Now they take down Lesh. They're going to go for a Rise. They get a Rise.
Wow.
It's 3 down all day. They step back. Fire Blast is going to catch on Mihawk here, but this is when we wish we had our Blinking Tide and our team at the
Dire's
ready.
bottom tower
They're getting
is under
beat
attack.
down here, dude. This is starting to get a little bit out of control. It's like, yeah, Not's doing well. They're picking up kills, but now they've got a 3,000 gold, 4,000
This
experience
is for a
lead.
team that has a Naga, and they'd be just as fine not
Dire's
engaging.
structures
Exactly.
are
They'd be just
fortified.
as fine handing over towers. Like, oh, we might lose. We'll probably lose our tier 1s. We might even lose some tier 2s. But hey, we got a Naga who's farming, and they'll pull it back. No, Not Today are actually looking for engagements, finding engagements, winning these fights, and now you've only taken 1 tower. This is going great for Not Today.
Yep, Deny will come out for the bottom
Dire's
tier 1
bottom
on the side of
tower has
Navi,
been
titled
denied.
Denier there. But Naga now with BOTs up, so working on those farming tools. Pretty sure Yasha will be coming out next, so she can move that much faster, get to the camps more effectively. Mr. Cow rocking the Wraith King gets himself a Blink Dagger, very well timed for some longer range initiation. And Morana looks like a BKB might be in her immediate future. Ogre Club already snagged, so Korok's not been able to ravage too much, and by the time he'll be able to, BKBs are going to be right around the corner. The Mithril Hammer now out on Ewo's Razor, so smart choices.
I'm really curious for Navi, what is their turning point going to be? I thought it would be once they get the Blink Ravage together, and then they'd have a chance to really set things up. But I think now it's just becoming more pressure on their anti-mage to be able to pull it on home, and he might have to resort to split push tactics at that. He's not going to be ready to fight here soon, and I don't know, the longer things go, Not Today, their whole foundation, their support, everything's got lots of farm. The Wraith King didn't go Midas, he went with the Blink Dagger.
Dire's
So
middle
now
tower is under
he can be able to
attack.
set things up, and he's happy to jump in and eat a first Ravage, eat all that damage, and be able to fight on.
And Naga's also gone for an early gem. It's really uncommon to see a Naga go Radiance, BOT, gem right away. You almost always see those farming tools come out first and then gems. More of like a
Radiant's
post 30
top
minutes
tower
type
is
deal,
under
but they
attack.
really want this map control. And
Radiant
they've got some aggressive
structures
wards
are
down here on the
fortified.
Roche Pit, and Dire, they've
Dire's
only got one
middle
ward down,
tower
and
is
it's right
under
around this
attack.
area where they want to fight in the Radiant secret shop. And I think that very well may get scouted out by Naga. He just moves over a little bit to the right there, but their presence will repel Navi US completely, and they won't get this tier 1 tower. Ooh, I think they see this ward here. Yeah, he'll send the illusion back, and down she goes. Ewo going to get a little pick-me-up. Yeah, there you go.
And we'll see a Rise push down this mid lane, but there's still Not Today hanging about. You got Mihawk and Miss Cow here lingering nearby with Soku's AA. And it looks like they're just going to go and farm the Ancients instead. But the longer this game goes, I can't help but feel like the more beneficial for Not Today. The period of Anti-Mage being able to make a big appearance is, well, it's getting pretty small, I'd have to say at this point. He's got about 2,500 gold, I do have to say. Battle Fury, Yasha.
He's still farming well, at
You know,
least.
I'm just curious to see where he's going to be able to take it from here, because he has a lot ahead of him here. As it's
Yeah,
a
I think
Naga who's
he's-
farming much more.
I think he's just going to be forced into a BKB, and once that comes out, then I think he can afford to get really aggressive, but hasn't started farming it yet, and now we'll see almost a wraparound in the mid. Ancient Apparition was kind of cutting the lane here. Will rendezvous with his troops. Chilling Touch comes out. Blink Dagger's ready. Mystico finds the initiation right onto a Rise. Short range Ice Blast will miss. And it looks like that'll be the end of this skirmish.
Oh, so they'll try to go for a safe exit here with their Moonlight Shadow. Now, Fog does have Dust, but he can't quite catch up with anyone here. Ush is very close to Miss Cow, and Miss Cow might be in a bit of a pickle here.
Fog.
It's Fog who's getting caught off, however, and they just make quick work of him. It's Mihawk's
Radiant's middle
Mirana
tower
that gets
is
it
under
done, and
attack.
Ravage.
Korok wants redemption here. He's not... Ravage was already used.
Yeah.
I didn't even see where it was or where it happened.
It was
but
on 3 right here. Korok not trying to chase down the AA, but Masoku giving him the fancy footwork in the trees. He misses the anchor smash, and Masoku just kiting him all day. Korok says, hell, I'm going to TP out of here. On the other side of the fight, they lock down the Viper. Navi US quelled at every turn here, Dakota.
Yeah, this is looking bad. I think it's quickly getting to the point where this is going to be
Dire's
too much for
bottom
Navi
tower
West to
is
handle
under
at this
attack.
point. And Not Today have been cleaning house. I mean, they've been playing a stellar game so far, and it's just more props to them. They've been finding great setups and started with the first blood, a couple of great grabs on Korok in the off lane, and there's really been a struggling recovery period here for Navi West. There's just no point when it seems like that they have the upper hand as far as team fight. They keep getting caught out and taken down, and
now that they've saw the Ravage come out, they can afford to be really aggressive here. They'll push this tower, and they may even look to try and force the skirmish. Ice Blast from long range connects on 2, but no follow-up. So they'll be happy with just that tier 2 tower mid, and again, limiting those access points to the other side. Look at these, just look at these wards here, though. I think Roche may be in the Radiance near future. They've got 4 wards down,
is ridiculous.
Basically surrounding the Roche pit.
They see everything that Navi West want to do on that whole side of the map. I mean, they can't really see.
Yeah, good luck farming your Ancients, Navi.
You know, but like, if they even try to come and contest any sort of Roche, if they try to, work with those Ancients, not today are going to know exactly what's happening, and they have that gem to kind of assert the map control with it, and it's looking so good. Now Ush does throw together his Manta style.
Oh yeah, that is Masoku's gem, by the way. I did speak earlier thinking Naga bought it, but AA bought it. It's still an early gem. That point does stand. Seeing AA just go Tranquils into gem, I would say is a little bit rare. If he's not going to go Ags, usually it's a Force Staff or a Mech, some other utility item that'll come out first. So, not today. They've got a plan, and getting the map control is kind of keeping Navi US in this weird corner of the map where they can farm Ancients. But, I mean, look at not today. They're just clearing out the dire neutrals.
I mean, Ush is my boy and all, but I can't help but question the Leshrek grab in this kind of game, and as far as what he really contributes to the team, and maybe someone else who could have filled the spot. Someone like a Lion who has double sets of disable, can do a lot of work as far as removing the illusions from Naga, and has great burst against her as well. And the stun obviously in Hex a lot more reliable. Top lane here,
the Razor.
They want to go for Korok here. Ice Blast is going to connect, and Ewo's just going to right-click him into Shatter territory. Oh, Mihawk also jumps in, puts out Starfall, but the Ravage is going to pop. Can Ush find a kill himself? He can't. He's actually brought down very low. He can, oh, this is it. Navi West, they lose Ush. Anti-Mage goes down. Multi's going to come on the return to Miss Cal, but he's got a second life to work with here. Not today.
Yeah, that was...
They look so on form.
Yeah, that was looking good, and beautiful BKB timing on Ewo. I'm pretty sure Anti-Mage used the Mana Void on the Razor when he was BKB'd. It goes through Magic Immunity for the stun, but it doesn't do the damage. So that would have been a kill on Razor, and instead he walks away scot-free. Now the Ogre gets picked off. It's a 3-for-0 trade. Moonlight Shadow used for good measure as Mihawk has some poison on him that he has to deal with the Rise.
No TP, though.
We'll keep this tower standing, and they will be repelled ultimately, but... Yeah, another huge exchange for the Radiant side, now pushing their gold lead past that 7,500 mark.
It feels like it's so much worse than that.
It really does.
I mean, it's 7,500, but I feel like this is like a 20k advancement for Not Today. They just have so much going for him at this point. Smash has been farming nonstop. He already has his own Manta to contest and about 1,300 gold. Mirana has been putting in so much work. Mihawk has been, who I consider the MVP of this game. He's 7-0-6. On this Mirana. He got so much work done early and in the off lane, and he just continues to just perform.
Yeah, it's just never been a misstep. He's been landing arrows left and right, and yeah, having a perfect game so far. We'll see if he can keep it up. But as long as Not Today keep this momentum up, you know, this could end up being a quick final series. This feels pretty one-sided, and I mean, the graph tells a pretty good story. It was never out of control until we've gotten to this point where Not Today have carved out this huge lead for themselves.
They're not done yet, man.
They
smoke
up. I love the aggression with this Naga. Usually think of Naga like that 4 Protect 1 Resident Sleeper style, and this is the complete opposite.
Maybe it's even put Navi through a bit of a loop as far as how the aggressive, it just keeps coming their way. Way too now going to get caught out and taken down. It's just easy. Right in front of their face. They had put down the sentry, and they're just going to remove it just as quick.
Up top, though, Smash gets Viper struck, and there you go. No Ravage, just an easy Song of the Siren. Bye, boys! See you later. TP home and heads right towards the mid. Thwarted once again.
So, I mean, Navi West, man, the recovery, it's...
tower has fallen.
I don't know,
See, at least here they have an anti-mage with a Battle Fury who has a decent amount of farm. I feel like one really good team fight, like if Navi US could get that perfect initiation Ravage around the Roche pit, trade a 1-for-5 or something, I think they would be right back in this game. So it's not all hope is lost yet, but they need to do something to change the momentum here, because what they're doing now is just simply not working.
Yeah, and what Not Today are doing is working damn well. I mean, they've eaten their breakfast. Whatever they got to do, they are mentally in shape and on par for this game, and they clearly show it with how they execute these plays, and just from top to bottom, putting together a really nice Dota game. And they're going to just start taking away the farm here from the side of Navi US, taking it in their jungle. Mizcal just continues to push out the top lane. I mean, hell, if this Wraith King put together some reasonable farm, he could be a core to deal with.
Viper.
Jumps in, stun, Ice Blast, should be able to connect your mech. Now not going to be doing anything. Viper Strike, and Mihawk's like, no problem, I'll just right-click you down. Korok shows up, but Korok can't really offer a whole lot himself. He has Ravage, but he's already down to half-life. Way 2's here. He's like, oh, maybe I can get him with Edict, but they can't quite catch up. All it takes is a Moonlight Shadow, and they're going to make the run. Jump in. Ravage, however, is going to be there. It catches on 3. It actually forces Smash to pull out the sleep as the secondary escape. And now that Ravage isn't going to help with anything. Not today. Just peace on out. Navi US are not going to get that hopeful rubber band opportunity to go for some kills.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty disastrous. Anti-Mage Haste-Ruin, he's going to chase down Mihawk. He'll have a leap up in
nice
1
bounty
second.
if he can get it. He wants it.
And Mihawk might actually survive this. He'll move into the tree line. TPs. Ush gets totally juked.
Gets on out. I mean, he had Mana Void to stop the TP, maybe if he had vision, but
Yeah,
Dire's
couldn't
middle
find him,
tower
though.
is
Very
under
nice
attack.
place from the Mirana and keeping up with that perfect game. Naga now completed her Manta and moved into a Diffusal. So, draining some manas and doing some damage. I like this this build from the Naga. Still not super beefy. I imagine a Heart will come out next, but the Diffusal does give you a nice little bit of utility there.
Yep. I guess if you need to purge off a Viper Strike from an ally as well, you'll have that bit of benefit. Or yeah. Regardless, Smash is incredibly farmed on this Naga. Still 1k to spend here. Is just now going to begin to offensively take all the farm away. Korok trying to find something he can. He does have his Blink and his Force Staff, but nowhere near maybe getting some sort of, you know, what I can't think of it.
What word are you looking for?
The Refresher Orb. That's what it is.
Oh, the Refresher Orb.
The old Refresher Orb.
It's a tricky one.
Korok caught out from Smash. He puts that Diffusal to use.
Oh,
Purges
it's
down
purged.
Korok. Can he get away from this? Mech's also going to be there, but
He's got
might
a net.
not be enough. Oh,
And he's got a song. I think he could have just afforded to net him there, but the song
Ice
works
Blast,
too.
Arrow. Oh, he still gets caught. Korok's going to go to the high ground, but he might shatter. Rise already shattered. The level 2 Ice Blast. Korok is walking back, but
I think
he
he's
should be
going to
fine.
live. Yeah, he
he's
lives.
good.
Okay.
He's good. Arise, not so good. Your Viper goes down once more. 0-4-0 for Arise right now on this Viper. Not really amounting to a whole lot this game for his team, unfortunately. Just
This race is getting huge, though. Ewo's got 4,200 gold. He could just grab an Aghanim Scepter at this point if he wants.
Yeah, I think we're feeling like how we felt for game number 2 the last series, that maybe you just kind of chalk this one up and get ready to go at it again. And game number 2 it's clearly not today's game. I mean, they have everything they could ever ask for going for them. They find plenty of farm on Smash Naga, but even when they go into these 4 and 5 kind of engagements, they still have a lot more to offer in any of these team fights.
Down bottom, Smash goes in
Dire's
onto
middle
Ush, does a
tower is
lot of
under
damage.
attack.
Can he find him for a net interrupt?
Dire's
Oh,
structures
there's your
are
song.
fortified.
Oh, my
Anti-Mage
gosh.
doesn't have a TP. He's isolated on this side of the map. They know it. He's blinked out now, and maybe the rest of Nod will try to go in, but Ush, he sees the blink, goes
Dire's
in with an
middle tower
with
has
the
been
purge, but
denied.
oh, he nets one of the illusions. Great use of the Manta there.
Yeah, but this is just him trying to make an escape while the rest of his team are desperately trying to stop the push mid lane where they had already lost their tier 3 now. Not today, not letting up. The siege continues. They send back up onto the high ground and start dealing a little bit of damage towards the ranged racks, but just trying to get a little bit of that permanent damage in there.
Yep. So, not today. Being very patient here. Korok just having a dance party with his sword, venting some frustration there.
Dire's bottom
Flexing
tower
those
is
sea
under
monster
attack.
muscles.
I mean, I don't know how they're thinking mentally, if they're already trying to prep for a game number 2 at this point, or if they're still feeling like there's some hope for them in this game to really pull it back. But
Yeah, before when I was saying there's still a chance. 19-3, we're getting that insurmountable lead here, Dakota, where like 17,000 gold and XP. Ooh, even with this Battle Fury, how do you start to dethrone this Naga? Roche going down slowly but surely. They don't have Mirana with him here. Anti-Mage will push the bottom lane. He has picked up a Reaver, so Heart of Tarrasque probably in his near future. And wow, this is a really slow Roche. They just don't have the damage for it here without the old Nogger.
Moraz coming as well. Like, maybe I'll arrow it finally and we'll be able to do it a little bit quicker. But
Although
yeah.
they find Ush, and they're like, you know what? Forget about Roche. Why don't we go for the big prize here? Get the Anti-Mage. Smash coming in. And he'll initiate to get it started.
Yeah,
Mystico.
Manta. Oh, God. They might go on the hunt.
Blink.
Mizcal could blink right into the woods and see if he can scout him on out, because Ush still there.
they're not going to.
They're going to assume he TP'd out.
Yeah, they handled that kind of odd. I would have thought Mystico would blink out, stun to get it started, and then try and save the net. But I guess maybe the thought process was save the blink for when anti-mage blinks away, then you can guess in the tree line and maybe find him. Yeah, a little awkward, but they'll just go back to Roche. Mihawk's here this time, throws an arrow, and maybe now they can secure the big monster.
Yep. They'll go for it. Navi West, they're nowhere near this bid to try to put up any sort of contention. Korok probably would have been the biggest one to help out with that, having the Blink Ravage, but he's more focused on trying to put together the farm right now in the jungle, and it looks like Not Today are going to pick up a sweet Aegis right here and be able to make it count. Ush continues to push out this bottom lane, finding his own bit of farm to work with. He's got his Reaver now, but obviously he's going for item build instead of reserving anything for any sort of buyback.
Radiance
if he gets
top
caught
tower
out
is under
at
attack.
any point and goes down,
That is really scary,
fallen.
actually. They are not looking so hot in terms of buyback
Radiant
on the
structures
dire
are
side of
fortified.
things. They almost get a
Radiant's
tier 1
top
tower
tower
up
is
top.
under
Glyph
attack.
comes out, and Cardi will
that's
bring
just their
it low.
second tower if they take it too.
But, yeah, I think it'll get denied here. Yeah, Smash find an easy deny.
Radiant's top
One
tower
hit, one
has
kill.
been
Yeah.
denied.
Wow, this Mirana, Mjolnir, and 3,600 gold. Naga, 3,900 since she picked up the Diffusal. AM does get the heart, so he is getting a little scarier, but still only 2,300 hit points. Now with anti-mage, like, yeah, you're kind of tanky now. You kind of do a okay amount of damage, but he still just isn't really that.
He's like on comparison with like the Mirana. And the Mirana's even getting a lot more done. She has Mjolnir and about 4k gold.
Yeah.
So Ush is like kind of at her mark, and you still have a Smash
And
Naga
then the Naga's
on,
on
the team.
top of that. But whoa, an array of items here. Now Heart on the Naga. Razor grabs himself a full Assault Kuros, but on the other side of things, Arise's Viper grabs his first big item since the Midas, and it's finally paid off. He gets a Scythe of Vice.
I like the grab.
Good item. Some disables here, very useful, especially against the Naga.
Mirana just used her BKB. I think it was on accident.
Oh,
So she
Mihawk.
loses a second.
And it was in front of a Dire Observer, it looks like. So
Yeah,
they might have
something.
actually saw that.
And it didn't look like Ush even moved towards her, so that was an accidental BKB use on your Mirana.
Well, that's unfortunate. Not the end of the
She's
world,
going
but
for MKB as well.
unfortunate indeed.
Anticipating already that Ush could be going for a butterfly on this anti-mage.
Very
He
smart,
hasn't
I
yet,
think.
but maybe if Ush sees her throw together the MKB, he
Yeah.
might go another road. We'll have to see, but she's hiding it for now.
Yeah. Also could be a potential Halberd
Radiant's
coming out at
middle
some
tower
point
is under
on the
attack.
Viper here. Plenty of right
Radiant
clickers
structures
that are
are
worthy
fortified.
of halberding. Up top, Korok. Looks like he will start moving towards a refresher. Has his Perseverance there. Still pretty far away, but making progress
Radiant's middle
towards that
tower is under
game-changing
attack.
item on
Radiant's
the Tide per
middle
usual.
tower has fallen.
So, always interesting to see racers go for AC over an Ags, because it's sort of like, yeah, this item's great for pushing, synergizes with your ult, but if you really want to push and make your ult crazy, just get the Ags, you know?
I agree.
I
There you go.
am,
It's Not Today that want to put their advancement out. They get
Dire's
smashed to
middle
come
barracks are
towards this
under
mid lane.
attack.
The illusions come out, and as Navi West wanted to go for a smoke play, Smash just quickly finds
He's
where
just
they are.
distracting
and
them right
stops
now.
them.
It's all
Yeah.
Smash up top. Meanwhile, they're going on to the barracks. Now he gets a kill on the Naga. Mystico comes over, but this is just like four distract five, or
Dire's middle
one distract
barracks are
five
under
kind of. I don't know how to.
They
This is
get the mid
ridiculous.
lane racks,
Middle
one of them.
barracks.
The
They
other
get the
one now
melee
under
racks,
big pressure.
too.
They're going to get both.
They get both barracks. Smash gets a solo kill, and Navi US can't kill anyone. They've got a Ravage, but how does Korok use it here? Do you solo Ravage the Naga? Do you Ravage the 4 and let Naga kill your teammates? Not an easy decision to make.
Razor,
Ewo
very
steals a little bit of damage.
He's got an Aegis, so he can play like this if they want. And it looks like Not Today don't want to step out until at least maybe they had a bit
Dire's
more
top
damage and
tower
go for a
is under
different lane.
attack.
It's Ewo who does go towards the top lane. He's going to start dishing a bit more damage towards this tier 3. Navi US, man, they need to think about what the plan is as far as
Look at this.
defense.
Ush has already picked up his Talisman of Evasion. Perfect timing for that MKB on the Mirana to come
One
out.
step ahead. Not
Oh.
today. Itemization also looking very good from them.
I feel like that was like the easiest racks that Not Today have taken in a long time. Like that was just like, Naga, go do a little dance party. Go take off your bra. We're going to push the mid lane. And it worked like a charm. It was like Naga versus 4. And there's no one left to defend the mid lane. That's part of the problem when you're this far behind is you just can't stop split push. You don't have the resources for it. Arrow down bottom almost hits Ush, but finds a creep instead. And yeah, Ush will be just fine here.
Just can be faring up, and he's going to go. Well, maybe he can change roads and go a halberd. Who knows? But he's probably going to commit for the butterfly from here on out. But we already talked about how Mirana will have his number as far as right click, and she also has a DD here, so she's got huge damage at this point. He's already heading right towards the top lane to maybe make some use of it. Where Ewo Still has some time left on this Aegis. Let's put it to use, boys. They go right for the high ground here. Ush shows up, moves forward. Ooh,
There's
Manta's
no
out,
glyph.
but there's no glyph. And your tier 3 will go down. Not today, get that one. And now we'll see as the Aegis gets close to expiration time. It's not today that want to push for the second set of racks and get a W here in game number 1, this best of 3 series.
Yep. Ewo on the front lines. If he's going to go down, he's got to do it soon. Ravage comes through. Doesn't do a hell of a lot. They'll get the kill on Ewo, but the Aegis is still there. Smash uses the ultimate, locks him in place. They bring down the Lesh as he's got his magic immunity on. He's isolated. Now Arise slowed up. They'll try and bring him down. He will get force stabbed back. Meanwhile, on the front lines, they bring down Anti-Mage. GG, well played. Not today. 23-3. They roll over Navi US.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
And that's about all I have to say about that Cuddle guy. That was just slapping him around.
That was a stomp.
Wow.
That was a stomp. I don't know what to say. Navi US,
We need to phone a friend here. So what do we say about this game? Like that,
No, that was just perfect execution from Not Today. They put together a really nice team, and they got everything they wanted from start to finish. There's no faulting that Not Today just played the better game. And for Navi US, they're going to have to look to try to shake this one off. They can't begin to go on tilt here for game number 2. They're still in this one. Even if this series doesn't go their way, they're still in it as they have their chance to fight their way through the lower bracket. But I'm sure that's not a way you want to start out the playoffs here for Summit.
Definitely not. You don't want your second series to be an elimination series, to say the least. But it just felt like everything went wrong for Navi US that game. The lanes, the team fights, the movements. Ush had decent farm, but they couldn't get the initiations, and Korok, he got booped that game, I think.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say. So, all right, guys, that was game 1. Not today, looking hot. We'll see if Navi US can bring it back, take game 2, and bring us into an ace match. We'll be back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.